What's going on, guys? It's your boy Terabyte Reacts here, and we are back with another Evangelion reaction. But today we're doing something a bit different. We've just wrapped up the season, or the only season there is, rather. So now we're going into the movies. I'm gonna try to get through. I don't know if I'll be doing the rebuilds. I'm telling you guys the truth. If you guys think on this video, you're watching this video, you think I should do the rebuilds, by all means, put it in the comment section. I will do it based on that. But I was talking to the people over on Discord. It doesn't seem like I need to watch the rebuilds. But if you guys want to see me watch them, I will do it. Okay, because it doesn't seem like it's necessary to watch a rebuild because it's basically just taking a little part of the story, going in different directions. That's what the rebuilds are all about, from what I understand. But this movie is definitely a continuation from episode 25 that I'm about to do right now, end of Evangelion. So I'm excited to see it because last thing that I watched, had me thinking that, did the story happen? Did the story actually happen, or was it a dream state? Was it a simulation? Was it the human instrumentality program? What is that about? Is that whole thing, that's what I'm saying. Was it all just a simulation? Was it all something that Shinji, was the program set up for Shinji to create this world to see what his mind would be like, or where his story would go, just for him to find himself? I don't know. As you guys know, I don't want to go over my whole review. I think I spoke for probably like 15 minutes or so in my last review about what I think the story was about. But as I said, if you guys want us to discuss this further, please feel free to join the Discord. The conversation is always ongoing over there. So click the link in the description. Go join the Discord. Hey, it's not a forced thing. If you don't want to, it's fine. It's just that the community over there is growing, and if you want to be a part of the conversation, take your mind off of your daily activities. It's good to have conversation, have debates. Your opinion matters in this community. Okay, so we're gonna jump into this movie, man, because I want to see what this is all about, to see what the continuation would have been like. So a lot of information came out. So as in, when we were discussing stuff on the Discord, I heard that the person who wrote the story, he was depressed, going through deep depression and stuff like that. So all this stuff is interesting to me, right? It's interesting to me. So we're gonna jump into this movie, man, and see how they tried to wrap up things, going off of the forget, because you guys are saying that episode 26, just get that out of your mind, because this is a continuation from episode 25. So let's go. I will see you guys for the review. I'm only going to be uploading this to BitChute. I'm not going to upload this to the Google Drive, because this so I'm just going to upload it to BitChute so you guys can just watch it straight, instead of me having to chop it up to put it on the Google Drive, because I know this is going to take forever to process on the Google Drive, because it's an hour and a half. Okay, so thank you guys for watching. As always, it's your boy Terabyte Reacts. I will see you guys for the review. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Terabyte Reacts here, and we are back with another review. This one is the end of Evangelion, but instead of my review, what I'm going to do, I'm gonna tack on the what I was talking about at the end of the reaction. I'm just gonna tack it onto this video, I'm not gonna make a separate video. It's just basically just this guy that back in the day, I guess he was a huge Evangelion fan too. So somebody in the Discord put me on to this. Said this guy kind of broke down Evangelion in multiple videos and stuff like that. So what we're gonna do right now, if you're interested, you can stay and watch this with me. I'm gonna be reacting to this video of this guy giving a basic linear explanation of what the whole season was about. I don't know if this includes the movie, but I do want to hear somebody else's perspective, um, you know, other than all the others that I've already heard. This is a good way for us to kind of sit down and get somebody else's take on the whole thing, kind of understanding, putting everything together from what we've learned in the series, with none of the, because when you say linear, that simply means it's supposed to be a simple explanation of just a straightforward explanation of what took place during the anime, right? So, or you guys, I know a lot of people have said that the manga is so much better, but we're gonna take it for what it is, when it comes on to just the anime. So this guy was a huge Evangelion fan. There's no doubt about it, because anybody that takes the time to actually break any anime down, you know that they're huge lovers of the series. And even if they're gonna have a problem with it, they still somehow love it. They could hate the series and still do stuff like this, but because people are like that. But anyways, we're gonna jump into this, man. It's a linear explanation, and then I'm gonna do another one for a separate video, of him explaining the symbolism and all of that stuff that went on during the series. So let's jump into this, man. I'm so sorry that this guy he deleted his channels. This happens that somebody saved his videos. So man, we need more people like this on the internet. That's all I'm trying to say. We need more people like this on the internet, man. Well, let's jump into this, man. We're gonna just scoot on over to this. Yes. Yeah. Alright, let's do this. Damn, he has all the DVDs, bro. That's hilarious. Damn, he just threw Ghost out like, man, get the...
This video will depict the quickest, most linear explanation of the greatest anime of all time, Neon Genesis Evangelion. Fuck!
What is she, jiggly like jelly or something? Maybe she looks like pudding or flan.
Yeah, same problem I had back when I just started. Somebody corrected me. It was like, it's not Evangelion, it's
Essentially a synopsis
Evangelion.
from start to finish. Not getting into any sort of symbolism or analogies or cryptology, hidden messages, hidden meanings, scientific theories about fucking quantum mechanics or thermal expansion.
Thermal expansion? How embarrassing.
Just a rundown of the show from start to finish. Now, before we start, we need to know a little bit of backstory. In the beginning, there were these godlike beings known as the first ancestral race. In the show, they're described as the first extraterrestrial intelligence. The first ancestral race knew their race would eventually come to an end, just like most do, and they took measures to make sure parts of their existence would still live on in the future. So what they did was they created something known as seeds of life. What they did was essentially spawn life on various planets long after they've been extinct. And all their efforts were documented in something known as the Dead Sea Scroll. The Dead Sea Scroll had virtually information about everything. It was used as a manual on the use and purposes, the contents of the black and white moons, the seeds of life, and the spears of Longinus. It detailed rules and regulations on how to use these items, and it was often referred to as the prophecy, to the extent and order of which the angels were released and were introduced. So the first ancestral race created the seeds of life, Adam and Lilith. Adam being the fruit of life seed, and Lilith being the fruit of knowledge seed. Each having their own moon, or egg, one being white and one being black, white with Adam and black with Lilith. And each one of them came with a spear, what is known as a spear of Longinus. And by this point, you probably have no fucking idea what I'm talking about, but that's fine. Okay, so just follow me here. The first ancestral race scattered these seeds, or eggs, across planets, in that each planet would only receive one seed. The planet that received the Adam seed would be dominated entirely by what are known as angels, where the planets with the Lilith seed would produce normal life, such as humans and animals. They avoided putting two of the same eggs or seeds on the same planet because if a single being were to obtain both the fruit of life and the fruit of knowledge, it would have the same sort of godlike influence as the first ancestral race that initially created them. Now, this is essentially what happened on Earth. Two seeds did in fact land on the same planet. The Adam seed came first, but before the life of the angels could come to existence, the Lilith seed collided with the Earth, destroying her spear of Longinus in the process. The spears are used like a security device. They're capable of safeguarding the first ancestral race's plans should they somehow be compromised. And that's essentially what caused the first impact. And the reasoning of the spears to begin with is to deactivate one seed in order to prevent the unification of both Adam and Lilith. And so since Lilith lost her spear, Adam was locked or deactivated by his own. While Adam was inactive, Lilith spread her what is known as LCL, in which normal life evolved over billions of years. LCL is like that yellow, the piss yellow primordial soup substance they describe as in the show. Now the show has its own complicated explanations of what LCL is. Pretty much, it shares similar properties to the hypothetical primordial soup in which life first originated from. In terms of gradual chemical evolution of molecules over millions and billions of years. Described by the dossier, LCL is an acronym for Link Connected Liquid, which is what's in the Evas and apparently the only thing the pilot absolutely requires to sync with an Eva. So, there's that. Okay, so fast forward to the year 2000, to the Katsuragi expedition. Katsuragi and her father and the crew traveled to the South Pole to research and experiment with Adam. Humans that had been originated from Lilith were put in contact accidentally with Adam. And although there was a minimal amount of Lilith DNA in the human, the merging of both Adam and Lilith DNA resulted in a disastrous outcome, which was known as the Second Impact. And it wiped out fucking like half of the world's population. And in this enormous explosion, Adam's body, for whatever reason, turned into an embryo. Karu was born, and then now holds the soul of Adam. Gahern, an organization led by Gendo Ikari, built the Evangelions within the Geofront. The Evangelions were created by using samples from Adam's embryo, which were fundamentally clones of Adam, except for Eva Unit 1, who was a clone of Lilith. Sele finds both the soul of Adam, which is Karu, and the body of Adam, which is the embryo, among the wreckage of the impact sites. Sele goes back to Gahern on their own sort of classified plans, which is known as the Human Instrumentality Project. We'll talk about that in a second. Gendo's wife, Yuri Ikari, does a contact experiment with Eva Unit 1, somehow resulting in her body dissolving into LCL and her soul being absorbed into Eva's core. It was made to look an accident, but apparently she had planned it from the start as eternal proof of humanity's existence. Now, of course, Gendo was heartbroken, and that's when he decided to start the Human Instrumentality Project, which was also the secret goal of Zele. Let's talk about what the Human Instrumentality Project is exactly. And although it might sound completely fucking absurd, the Human instrumentality project was to gather all life of Lilith and unite them as one in the form of LCL, in that piss yellow primordial soup substance. And so both Gendo and Zele wanted this, but for somewhat different reasons. In the instrumentality project, everyone's flaws would be erased, everyone's pain would be gone, no insecurities, no sorrow, no bullshit like that. That was the reason that Zele wanted it, but Gendo just simply wanted to be reunited with his wife, Yui. So this is why Gendo and Zele worked together to direct Nerve, not simply to fight off angels, but to see the human instrumentality project to the very end. And later, Gendo created Rei, using the DNA of Lilith and Yui for his future plans. And after all this, Gahern changes to Nerve, and this is when episode 1 officially starts. Okay, so angels begin to attack Tokyo 3 to reach Lilith, which is hiding deep within the Geofront in Terminal Dogma, for the exception of episode 8, where they attack the ship where Asuka was first introduced, because at that time, Kaji had the embryo that he obtained from Zele before delivering it back to Gendo. Now, the reason this was all happening was because both Adam and Lilith were both flawed in some way. They were both missing their souls. And if the angels had in fact reached Lilith, mankind would be destroyed and the angels would completely dominate the world. With so much on the line, with such dire circumstances, what better way to fight off the angels but with some 14-year-old kids fucking, for whatever reason, able to sync perfectly with these Evas. Soon after all these attacks, Gendo and Fuyutsuki get Adam's Spear of Longinus from the second impact site. They impale the spear into Lilith, halting her growth and making it ready for the human instrumentality project. But during the 10th angel fight, Ariel arrives in episode 22, and they use the Spear of Longinus to defeat it, leaving the spear thousands of miles out in orbit, leaving a crucial part of the human instrumentality project completely out of reach.
Target annihilated.
Now this is at the point where Asuka breaks down and they have to send Karu as a replacement instead of her.
The angels understand our psychology that well? What's that beam made of?
It's some kind of energy oscillation using invisible wavelengths. It's similar to an AT field.
How's Asuka?
The mental contamination is crossing our ego borderline.
Asuka! Psychobreath critical!
We've got to get Asuka out of there immediately. Her mind is going to be permanently damaged.
Asuka!
Shinji later finds out that Karu was in fact the very last angel and has to make the decision to either kill him or letting him live, which would result in Karu finding Adam's body and letting humanity die. Shinji, being the amazing hero he is, with a stupidly, dramatically elongated scene, eventually kills Karu. Everything after that point gets a little bit complicated, and due to budget constraints, the way the show ended was all in Shinji's head. It was all in his subconscious. And it wasn't up until the movies came out, mainly the end of Evangelion, was where the true ending was actually given. So instead of us getting that awkward congratulations ending, what really happened outside of Shinji's head was far more interesting. So with the last angel destroyed, Sele turns on Nerve and sends out troops to invade Nerve headquarters. To move forward with Sele's plans, they need the Evangelions, and they used force to get them. At this point, Asuka has an epiphany or something.
You were always protecting me! Always watching over me!
She reactivates her Eva and fights against the assault in the most badass scene in the entire movie. Sele retaliates by sending these mass production Evas out, which were Evas built in secrecy by Sele. Shinji at this point stops being a little bitch and goes off to Eva Unit 1 to fight. Gendo proceeds to merge Adam's body with Rei, who has Lilith's soul, and he believes that this will bring Yui back. But Rei evidently rejects him and goes to Lilith instead. With Rei's possession of Adam's body and Lilith's soul, once merged with Adam's body, Rei becomes this huge, powerful, godlike being. She initializes Third Impact and starts the Human Instrumentality Project. The Spear of Longinus returns to Unit A1, and a massive anti-AT field spreads across the entire world, causing everyone's AT fields to break down, turning their bodies into LCL, and combining them all into one huge superorganism. So Shinji at this point has the option of either keeping the Human Instrumentality Project going, or completely rejecting it. Rejecting the Human Instrumentality Project would mean everyone's bodies would be restored from LCL. He'll be able to see everyone again. But things like sadness and sorrow would still be, prevalent in the world. But his feelings would be his alone. This was explained much better in the manga than it was in the show, but ultimately Shinji decides to reject the Human Instrumentality Project. Shinji snaps the lance, or this Spear of Longinus, and the godlike Rei dies, and this is when the infamous last scene takes place. So everyone's bodies gets restored back from its LCL form, just as Shinji's did in episode 16 when he was trapped inside the Eva Core, and he comes out completely alive. And Ritsuko gives some kind of complicated-ass explanation of how it all works. Don't question it.
Contained within that ultra-thin space is an inverted AT field. Inside of that field is a region of space that can only be defined by abstract mathematics. A sea of Dirac. It could be another universe.
Bitch, what the fuck was that?
Everyone comes back and is given a second chance, all thanks to our hero Shinji. And that's how the end of Evangelion ends.
Okay. Alright. It's not so bad. Okay. That was a quite straightforward explanation of, how things went down in the anime itself. And it was great. It was a great explanation, man. Just a break, not necessarily a breakdown, but to help us to understand. Like, most of what he was saying, I understood what he was saying because I picked up on it during watching the show. I understood the story of what they were telling. It's just that when I was reviewing, I was basically just kind of drawing the parallels, looking at the symbolism, because the show by itself is very interesting on, the whole extraterrestrial god situation. I mean, somebody in the Discord was telling me that this is based a lot on, Christianity and all of this other stuff, like, and what the author was explaining about the whole thing, saying that the whole thing is like, back then Christianity wasn't as popular in Japan the way how it is now. It was way less people that knew about Christianity, which is actually very surprising to me. I didn't know that. So there's a lot of Christian symbolism in this anime, right? In this whole thing that he wrote, there's a lot of Christian symbolism, and a lot of people who know, read a lot of stuff. If you watch a lot of TV shows that has to do with demons and angels and stuff like that, you will hear them use this name a lot, Lilith. All right, we all know what Adam represents. Everybody should know the story of Adam, the first man, all of that stuff. But Lilith is always used in the conjunction with being the evil one, the devil. All of this, you get what I'm saying? In some circumstances, it's Lucifer, but a lot when they talk about, the demon or the evil one, is they always use this word Lilith. So that's not foreign to me. Like, I understood that the moment they started talking about Lilith and Adam, if they come together, they create this godlike being. I get all of that stuff. So I can't wait to get into the symbolism video that he talks about. I'm probably not gonna do that today, um, but that will definitely come out sometime in the future when I have time to watch that video. But I hope you guys had a blast watching this video with me, man. It brought a lot of things to light, right? Brought a lot of things that you brought everything together into one video so I can understand exactly what took place without even, you know what I'm saying, without having to go back and watch certain episodes again. So that was definitely great, man. um it was awesome, and it included the movie, so that was even better. So it's a mind blowing thing. It's this anime is definitely mind blowing. It makes you think about, you know, the whole plan. That's what I'm saying. Like, during the whole time I was watching, when we got to the episodes that were in the teens, right? When we got to those episodes is when I started to start making a lot of predictions and stuff like that when it comes on to the mom. And I was like, no, the mom is, there has to be something having to do with the consciousness of Shinji's mom. It has a huge role to play. I was saying that like way back at like episode 10, 11. I was saying that this I don't remember exactly, but I know I was saying that way before the series ended, where I was like, the consciousness of the mom is playing some sort of role in this whole thing, and it turns out that she was. So and then it turns out the reason why Gendo was so standoffish is because he lost his wife, and all he wanted was to reunite with his wife. The whole originality of human existence and all that stuff that wasn't, that they talked about in this, in that he was talking about and bringing to light, I understood all of that. I understood the story. It's just the ending of the anime is so like, what? You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad the movie kind of gave us a better conclusion to the whole thing. So now we actually know that it's not, because I was thinking, because the last episode made you feel like the entire thing was a simulation inside of Shinji's mind. That's what it left you with. But the movie kind of brought it back before that and show you how the story actually ends, right? So I'm glad in the end that he chose humanity over complete this stupid, I don't know what is this. Like, people feel like they can live in a world without pain, without suffering, without all this stuff that we quote unquote think is bad. And in my opinion, it's not bad. It's there for growth. That's why we go through these things. If everything was all hunky dory and fun, what kind of world do you want to live in where everything is all good and not necessarily good. Good is a bad word, because we all want to, we all would love if this world was peaceful and everybody got along, right? But even during those times, there would still be people suffering, right? You would still have poor people. You would still have people, you know, every now and then want to kill somebody and all of this other stuff. Those things are always going to exist. You get what I'm saying? Because everybody's not of the same mind. Everybody is their own individual. But yet still, in a world like that, you could still have peace. You can still have peace. So no pain, no suffering, no, you know what I'm saying? It's like you can't be you. Like the whole reason why we're human are those things. And that's what people don't understand. Like, that's what makes you human, having a sense of individuality. That's what makes you human. It's not oh, we all gotta get along, and we can't, I'm never going to have any suffering in my life. I'm not going to go through anything. How are you supposed to learn if you don't make mistakes? How are you supposed to learn? When you've come to accept those things about yourself, that's when you know you're moving forward and not backward, looking at the things of the past and what happened and all of these other things. So those things help you to move forward, because when you actually reflect on those things, it's just like me as a personal example, because I don't know you guys personally. I can only use myself. When it comes on to me, you guys, if you've not heard me say this, I was homeless when I was 20 years old, right? I was homeless. I'm in a way better place that I am. I want to say probably 15 years ago in my life, way better place. And I've just come to accept the fact. I remember when I was not homeless anymore, anytime I start to talk about it, my eyes are full of tears. I'm bawling, right? Now I can talk about it with no effect because I've just accepted as part of something I had to go through to get where I am now. So now when I tell the story, it's not a joke by any means, but I use it as inspiration for myself and others when I tell the story and tell them, I said, listen, you can get to a place where you feel desolate, depressed, feel like nobody cares about you. All of those things are real situations where people can get to, even worse than that. But the point of it is to move forward, get up, realizing that it's just another step for you to take. And sometimes you get knocked back from your high horse. You get what I'm saying? Feeling like you're invisible. And when you feel like you're not invisible, invincible, right? When you feel like you're invincible, you feel like nothing can touch you. And then when you get into the situation, that's where a lot of people, they stay in the situation, and they let that situation bring them down. Now, I'm not talking about people who have mental illnesses and stuff like that. That's obviously a different situation, a situation where you need help, you need constant counseling and stuff like that. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about regular people that goes through depression every day and they don't know how to get out of it. You get what I'm saying? They don't know how to push forward and become a better version of themselves. So in this anime, as it has to go down as one of the greatest of all times, definitely, as in storytelling and so many. I can't wait to watch the other video, but I'm definitely gonna post that separately because this video is almost 30 minutes already, and you guys would have just spent probably 2.5 hours with me between watching the reaction and coming back to watch all this stuff after. Okay, so thank you guys for watching. As always, man, I have a ton more to say on Evangelion. Remember, if you want to continue the conversation, man, join the Discord. We talk about it. A lot of times when I'm thinking about it, I just post a question in there, and maybe 2 or 3 guys will join in on the conversation, and we will talk about Evangelion. So thank you guys for watching. I can't say how much I appreciate you guys for taking this journey with me. As I said, I don't know if I'll be doing the rebuilds. It depends. As I said, leave it in the description, in the comment section below. Let me know if that's something that you guys want to see me react to. Anyways, I'm here. So remember, guys, it's your boy. I'll see you guys later, man.